me years to accept the fact that Mona was dead. When I came back to Dominica, I just couldn't believe that Mona was gone. And I always felt that Mona had gone somewhere. And one of these days she would just come back and I would see her again. But after a very long time, I just made up my mind to accept that is what it was. It was a very sad time when I heard the news the morning in Trinidad and I started to cry. And even 50 years later, speaking about this accident, it still makes me sad. Many of the those who perished, they were my cousins. You have the six Deja sisters. They were my cousins. My granny was their mother's aunt. And like I said, my first cousin, my best friend, and many other of the people who perished, they were my friends and acquaintances. And to this day, it leaves that sad feeling. I am glad that I came here today, but I'm kind of disappointed to see the amount of people here. There should have been more people here today, but it is what it is. And those of us who are here today, let us make the best of it. And I want to say thank you to the council and the church who put this service together. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. I want to give a short testimony because I am here today for a reason. My grandmother, Agatha Timothy, and my auntie, Mona Timothy. My mother was in Guadeloupe the week of the accident. And all the night before, I had gone to the crusade with my auntie because she was a teacher at the Mount Prospect School. And then I was 4 years old at the time, and I used to be with them. So the night before the accident, night of the accident, I had gone to the crusade. But that day of the accident, the 21st, my mother came from Guadeloupe on that day. And then I told Auntie Mona, I want to go up to see what mommy bring for me. So that is the reason why I was not with them. And I know if I was with them, I don't think I would be here today. At 4 years old, I don't think I would be here today. So I am here for a reason. I give thanks to the Most High. He alone knows the reason for me being here. And I mean, it's a sad moment. Sometimes I don't speak about it because, I mean, you lost your granny, you lost your auntie, you lost cousins. So it's a lot. But it is what it is, and only the Heavenly Father knows why. We do not know why it happened. But I just want to say one more thing. It's good that the village council could collaborate with the church committee to have to have this event. And I see this as one of many more collaborations. It's a lesson for us in the community. It's a lesson that we need to come together as a people. Don't please let us stop letting religion and politics divide us. We are one people. Everybody in 1% related somewhere or other. So we need to just use that as a stepping stone for us to come together. Because when we come together, we can achieve more. Instead of us saying, oh, the council cannot do nothing, or the parap not doing anything. The council is eight people. The parap is one person. So we can come together as a community and let us do more for our community.
Sad and difficult to even speak about it. This one I tried getting mad so I could give a different spin. I went home, but the place I guess without underwear. And when they broke the news, it was like somebody got sick down the road and everybody went to attend to that person. They couldn't tell us the facts that, guess what, there was an accident because I guess we were too young to digest that. But every time the 21st of May comes up, it brings tears to my eyes. So it's difficult for me. My aunt had 6 daughters that perished. The next one that spoke to Matt this morning was the boy on the vehicle. But for me, you'll understand It's hurting. When you think of the young ones that lose their parents, both parents, or the teacher, like Davidson was saying, how did that affect us after that? How did we cope with that? When you listen to Deja this morning saying he can now cry after 50 years, I think the system has failed us even to this day. And I'm glad that the proverb is there that we can put something together, because there must be a sitting, a coming together and talking about and helping people to get through. It's still difficult when you think of Deja losing 6 sisters and this one losing a mother and father, and those children who just left to just deal with it on their own, even the parents. It's hard. However, I'm hoping that the next time we meet in and we sit in, that we can bring the people together and have that kind of open, let people talk about it, that they will get that healing that they need. And I'm hoping one of those days that in that discussion, we can also talk about the Pentecostal movement, what happened in Mount Prospect. It was a movement where the Roman Catholics were losing members, if you want to put it this way. Because the movement was people was getting saved, and as a result, everybody wanted to go to the crusade. Everybody wanted to hear what's happening. You couldn't then go to the church with a testament that the Pentecostals came with. What would the Mount Prospect be today if those 30 persons were alive? I guess we would have had some positive. It could be negative too, but a child losing both mother and father, you understand that child growing up without that figure in their life. If you listen to Miss Isles this morning, when she lose her both parents, and the grandparents had to, or you call it, fit in. We were strong, and I guess Dominicans, we are strong that we can survive. But we need to be able to come together when we have those type of things happening, to have people that we can count on, that can counsel us. I think we need counselors in Mount Prosper now. As we celebrate, as we look back, 50 years gone, and people are still hurting, people are still talking about it. We should have counselors as we speak, helping the people to go through it. I hope that as we channel our lives, as we go through, they have gone. And even as I drive down this morning and I saw the people who were wrong here cleaning, I'm saying, what would Mount Prosper be if these 30 individuals were still alive in a small community where everybody were cousins, aunties, uncles? But it is what it is. I'm hoping that we can grow from that. But Parab, I want to urge you, put something together and counsel where we can sit down and talk. And let us cry together. Let us build each other. I think I had enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Popo. Trauma is a real thing. It's a real thing. And listening to the words of different people, you can tell that some people are still traumatized. Trauma is a real thing. Post Maria, the example, post Maria, some people had to get that counseling, the counselors that Mr. Popo spoke about, in order to get over that experience of Hurricane Maria. So it is the same thing, the trauma.
I'll just be saying something on behalf of my mom and dad. My mom was about 6 at the time. My dad was about 7, and my dad lost his both parents in the accident. My mom lost her mom, and I can recall one around the anniversary. My mom came home and she was crying, devastated, and I was so young. What happened to you, mommy? What happened? She was like, I'm missing my mommy. I want my mommy. You know, and my mom and my aunt, every year on the anniversary, they always have me, my little brother, and my cousins come and we'll clean the monument. We'll put up flowers. You know, so growing up, I always learned about it. I always had the stories, and everybody and different people experience about it. My aunties who are not in the country even gave me some of their experiences of how they found out. You know, and in some cases it was so funny because they would give them the weirdest explanations on how it happened. And then as they grew older, they came to understand, you know, what really happened.
I talk about myself. I say thank my father for keeping me for on the earth, bring me for birth. She did not bring me alone for to my beautiful sister, your wonderful sister, or my twin sister, or I say twin because we look alike. So thank the father again for bringing me and she forth. And just a pity she's not there to see us growing up until she has grown. As I see, father know the reason why he took her at that time. And may our soul keep on resting in peace. And thank everyone for planning and bringing this together.
I just want to tell you that when I hitchhike on the road and I tell people I'm going to Mount Prospect, you going to Mount Prospect? Some of them would say to me, I'd rather give you money to take a taxi to Mount Prospect. I'm not driving Mount Prospect's road. Mount Prospect's scary. How long ago you been to Mount Prospect? But since that accident, wow, I'm not driving up there. So a lot of people still say that today, and it's 50 years later.
I thank you for being here. And of course, let me express my deepest sympathy and condolences for those who are going through what none of us may know what it is to lose somebody so close to you. I hear my brother and friend, and they say they always take me for him, or they say, sometimes we can dress alike too. And I understand the sentiments, but I think at the end of the day, it begs us to remember what collective goals can do. And then somehow we have a way of not remembering important occasions. Because sometimes there are little things in our head that turn the collective goal into personal things. But I've always said it and I'll always say it, that nothing beats collective goals and collective inspiration and aims and objectives. This is a community in 1975 that lost 30 people. And you heard from most of the speakers, if not all of them,
the emotional attachment it had to them as individuals. Montrose Bay maybe was a different place, but guess what? The accident occurred and that did. But think about it, where the people was heading to. It's something that we have to reflect on. Maybe, and without reservation, it was the pathway to a place better than what we will only imagine when we get there. And maybe that can bring a sense of comfort to all those who understand what the connection with the Most High can bring. Maybe this is a time to reflect on your neighbors and reflect on your communities and reflect on Dominica on a whole. So it's a pleasure for me to be here, but it's also sad for me too. I saw my good friend releasing some tears, so I had to try and close my eyes so not to see him doing it, because then it will have a chain reaction. But thank you for being who you are, a community that I greatly respect, a community rich in agriculture, a community that understands love and affection. And that is why no matter what, I hear always, and I'll always be there no matter what, no matter what the circumstances are. Thank you, and may God continue to bless you and guide you, because we need each other to move a step further, and we can only do it with our collective goals.
But let me not try to pretend that I know the sort of pain that most of you all went through. This is a very subjective thing, and who feels it knows it. We've all had our different experiences in terms of some of us lost people, and some of us are still survivors, we are relatives of survivors. And I can imagine the pain that you went through, but I actually don't know. Only you know exactly what you went through. But having said this, we have to appreciate the fact that grieving never stops. Someone just learns to adjust and to move along. But to say there's a particular period where you'll grieve for 1 year or 2 years, it doesn't work that way. You just have to learn to adjust and move along and just try to make the best out of the rest of your life that's available to you. But we have to look a little further throughout the discussions as well, throughout the presentations this afternoon. Most people thought that more people should be here. Most people thought that the system failed and more should have been done. Most people think there should have been counseling. Some thought the teacher should be here. Some thought the students should be here. But the only reason they're not here is maybe we didn't pull them here with us. We have to take blame for this. It is a collective blame. They are not here. Did we invite them? Did we call them? Why shouldn't each of us have brought 10, 15 people here? But then we come here, then we might lament that not enough for the people here. These are all our relatives in the village. So we cannot really blame anyone for them not being here. We had to bring them here with us. So I'm just bringing the point across that 2 years ago when we were here, Davidson and I were saying that this thing must be bigger than what we are having it there. And then we did speak about documenting what went through. And then we spoke about making it a much bigger event. So now, 2025, let's plan earlier and let's make sure this is a bigger event next year. So next year, we cannot blame everybody if it's not a bigger event, because I'm making this statement here. I'll do everything I have to do so that we can make it the big event that we want it to be. Over the past 2 nights, Decima and Shirley, they've been calling me, we've been messaging, and we've been planning for this. But I think more of us have to get involved into this whole activity so we can really make it what we want it to be. Now, if we look at presently, some people say, well, why is the government spending so much on roads? The East Coast Road, all through Castro, Kalinago, that's in excess of $2 million. So I say, $200 million. We're building a new road from Bagatelle to Lubia, that's $116 million. Going to get the road from the airport all the way to Portsmouth, most probably in excess of $200 million. So when you look at all of, and actually this little step in here costs $8 point something million. Now this is much different to when I was a kid coming with my dad. I remember how this was. And all of us can remember how this was. So you can see the improvements. This improvement is not just, it's all about people's safety. And you have to appreciate that because we all use the road. Whether you're red, whether you're blue, we're all on the same road. And we can still have accidents on the same road. And if we crash on the same road, it's us to look after ourselves. When I see a patient, I don't see blue or red, I just see a patient. When I see a constituent, I just see a constituent. And to me, this is the collective consciousness we should have. Many times in our situations, we just like to push and we just like to pass it on to someone else. Look, there are counselors there. So let us make an appeal. If we have to get the counselors, someone can let me know. Someone, as a matter of fact, the counseling department that the hospital said they were underutilized. Let us make use of the system.
Sad and difficult to even speak about it. This one I tried getting mad so I could give a different spin. I went home, but the place, I guess, without underwear. And when they broke the news, it was like somebody got sick down the road and everybody went to attend to that person. They couldn't tell us the facts that, guess what, there was an accident because I guess we were too young to digest that. But every time the 21st of May comes up, it brings tears to my eye. So it's difficult for me. My aunt had 6 daughters. The next one that spoke to Matt this morning was the boy on the vehicle. But for me, you'll understand it's hurting. When you think of the young ones that lose their parents, both parents, or the teacher, like Davidson was saying, how did that affect us after that? How did we cope with that? When you listen to Deja this morning saying he can now cry after 50 years, I think the system has failed us even to this day. And I'm glad that the power is there, that we can put something together, because there must be a sitting, a coming together and talking about and helping people to get through. It's still difficult when you think of Deja losing 6 sisters and this one losing a mother and father, and those children who just left to just deal with it on their own, even the parents. It's hard. However, I'm hoping that the next time we meeting and we sitting, that we can bring the people together and have that kind of open, let people talk about it, that they will get that healing that they need. And I'm hoping one of those days that in that discussion, we can also talk about the Pentecostal movement, what happened in Mount Prosper. It was a movement where the Roman Catholics were losing members, if you want to put it this way. Because the movement was, people was getting saved. And as a result, everybody wanted to go to the crusade. Everybody wanted to hear what's happening. You couldn't then go to the church with a testament that the Pentecostals came with. What would the Mount Prosper be today if those 40 persons were alive? I guess we would have had some positive, it could be negative too, but a child losing both mother and father, you understand that child growing up without that figure in their life. If you listen to Miss Isles this morning when she goes, her both parents and the grandparents had to, or you call it, fit in. We were strong, and I guess Dominicans, we are strong that we can survive. But we need to be able to come together when we have those type of things happening, to have people that we can count on, that can counsel us. I think we need counselors in Mount Prosper now. As we celebrate, as we look back, 50 years gone, and people are still hurting. People are still talking about it. We should have counselors as we speak, helping the people to go through it. I hope that as we channel our lives, as we go through, they have gone. And even as I drive down this morning and I saw the people who were wrong here cleaning, I'm saying, what would one prospect be if these 30 individuals were still alive in a small community where everybody were cousins, aunties, uncles? But it is what it is. I'm hoping that we can grow from that. But Father, I want to urge you, put something together and counsel where we can sit down and talk. And let us cry together. Let us build each other. I think I have enough. Thank you.
Together, together, together. I had to repeat the final story again. Give you a sense of the emotion that was out there at the activity yesterday afternoon. More tears and one prospect 50 years after. Dominica, thank you for listening. I hope something big will happen in Mount Prosper at the next anniversary. The people of Mount Prosper, good afternoon to you. Just hold strong. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes?
Yeah, Mark. Can you hear me clearly?
Very clearly, sir.
Yeah. The ceremony was, was very touching, and in many ways it reflected the society, both good and bad, that we have that sense of caring among ourselves, but we also have that sense of alienation. But what was sad, I think, and it connected back even to what where Paben started this morning. We had a whole, and coming to this afternoon, there's a common message in there. I hear the people in Mount Prosper, and I hear this need for the power rep and the power rep and the power rep, and then the power rep makes a contrasting statement that in a way identifies exactly, like he points it out. Like we as a society of people, Matt, we seem to have given up our sense of self to someone else. We have given it up to the political process. There is no mention of church there this afternoon in terms of we have given up. There's no mention of a community structure, a community grouping to do the work. Like we have placed everything in the hands of the politicians. And Paben started at this morning. The politicians have become the economic, the social, the everything. And what it says is we as people, we have become disempowered mentally in our developmental process. We have given it all up. And I hope Mount Prosper can maybe be one of those examples where more than PALREC gets involved in people's development, where the community itself takes responsibility. We have to disassociate ourselves from the political process. We are too engaged in it, although our society needs political premise, but we are too politicized in everything that we do. And I'm glad, Mark, keep doing those things. And we have citizens, we have good citizens who are away from the decision-making process because they are afraid of the politics. And we need them to come forward and get involved, be examples of empowerment in those societies. That is the only way we are going to change ourselves from this
over politicized process of governance in our lives. And so from the spirit to the moral to get involved. Let us re-engage ourselves in our society. Stop feeling like we're alienated because it's a color barrier affecting us. Let us become communal again. That is the only way we can begin to transform ourselves and begin some sense of independence from this political mandate that has overtaken our country. And I want us to follow that, please. I beg people, let us find ourselves to a place of community again, because it is community that is missing. That's why we have all this dissension in the country. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, bro.
God bless.
Thank you. May God bless you too. Let's see if we can, of course, play this.
Matt, good afternoon. Here I come again. Matt, the second voice note you played on that Mount Prosper incident is really, really on point, Matt. I often say to myself, we are very poor at recognizing our history, because your history is like you read in the book back in that day, 50 years ago, what the man is saying. Even in our history of a nation, Matt, we are poor at what took place back then, from the slave history, from the Kalinago history to present day history to the 50 years ago history. And I want to commend you for doing that story, Matt. You keep mentioning a documentary. That would be a good thing to do. But we need a library, Matt, to put these things in place, that people can go in the library and research these things. We need a library that we could go in and see what the devastation of Maria and all these things. We have a history that is unrecognized. When you check other countries around the region and around the world, they have a history. And you educate your people on your history. You know your roots. You build your strength on your history, Matt. I just want to say thanks for recognizing that one and keeping it on the front burner, because history is important. History is your past, your present, and your future. You build on that. And lastly, I would like to say, more roads on Dominica need guardrails, Matt. For that, I just want to say I'm out, and thanks you.
Hello, good morning, or good afternoon to you, sorry.
Good afternoon, Matt. I was glad. The same thing I was saying to myself, that said some of it. Because I keep hearing the guy calling on the Parep, I glad you're here, Parep, I glad you're here, so we can do that. It's your auntie, your uncle, your nene, your father, your godmother, your sister. It's all your relatives. All you right now, from a year from today from now, or you can start a movement, putting things in place, getting all yourself organized. Then when all you start to do things in the area, then you call in the Parep to assist in all you, but all you should start a movement. It's not the Parep, until the Parep doesn't know you when he's ready for vote. So it's all you that should take the first step. Start to do something for all your family, and stop Parep, I glad you there, and I glad you there. Man, I like what happened, but the people should take the first step, and then they can ask the government or whoever they have to ask assistance. People, take the first step to help all your family. You want to remember your auntie, you want to remember your brother, do something for them. Bye-bye.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Hello. Hello, nobody there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, Antigua.
Just the other night, I thought I heard you cry.
I think I have a caller from Antigua. What are you saying, sir?
No, I was saying, I mean, I'm calling, I'm in the US at the moment, but I'm calling you from an Antigua number. I'm
Okay.
saying, as a little boy growing up, I used to hear about the Mount Prospect thing, but I never really know what transpired
Oh, okay.
until today, you know. So it's sad, man. It's really sad. Really sad to hear.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank
And I'm
you.
here.
Yes.
Well, my prayers were out with the family, the people, and them, and some of the things that will suggest it makes a lot of sense. All right, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Keep
Thank
it
you.
down.
Keep it up.
Keep the faith.
All right, man. You know, there are a lot of young people who never knew what happened there, but we have to document it. As the first scholar said, for the purpose of history. You have to understand your history. I've always said on the radio that I think we have a poor documentary. You know, if you ask people about the history in the 70s, where is that documented? A lot of young people don't even know that, huh? That was the Black Power movement. It was the dread in the mountains. A lot of you know nothing about it. We need somebody to chronicle the events of the past. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, Hurricane David, May 29, 1979.
79, yes.
Am I correct?
1979, you're right. August 29, August.
August 29. May 79. Something rings a bell on
May 29th, 19, yes. You're talking about the strike in road 1977, 1979, yes.
So Hurricane David has to be documented for the youth in school.
Mm-hmm.
Hurricane Maria must be documented for the youth in school. And you know, the most major documentary that must be prominent in every classroom, when the Labour Party was toppled in a coup by Eugenia Charles, by the Freedom Party government. And that happened when, Matt? That was not May?
May 29th, I think. May 29th.
1979, yes. And then Hurricane David came a few months after that. I remember that clearly. So she toppled the Labour Party government. She was the first coup leader in Dominica. The youth must know that.
Was it maybe Eugenia Charles, or who was the leader? Who was the leader in the union?
Eugenia Charles was the engineer, and she used her general manager, Charles Savrin, who was the architect, how to go about it, you know, and literally stoned every Labour Party parliamentarian out of the house.
Including yourself, Peter, including yourself, right?
Including my dad. My dad was a senator coming down the stairs of government headquarters that morning. I remember seeing them punching and kicking young Minister Corriett, who was Minister, I believe, of Public Works.
Mm-hmm.
But no one touched Mayor Senator George Karam, because he was packing. He was always packing, fully loaded. You know, they knew that he was a special constable. His number at the CID was 007. They can tell you they called him James Bond, or like he was better known as Bondo. You know, those are memories for me.
And those memories, Peter, as you said, must be documented, huh?
Guaranteed, must be. They cannot be erased from our memory. Cannot be erased. We must know those documentaries. The historical past is important for us to know so we can grow on it and move along on it. I cannot, it left me traumatized, the stones that morning for about 5 hours. Stones rained on our roof and in our balcony. Every glass plate was broken. Every piece of glass, window, and door was broken that morning. And I mean, that left a mark inside of me. and I have to live with it to this day, that we're ensuring that those days can never come back again and never would be repeated. It's important that, I mean, come on, we're more civilized than that. That was not civility in those days at all. You know,
And you remember in 1982 when they tried to overthrow Eugenia Charles. Remember that in 82? When Mr. Piper.
Patrick tried to redo the overthrow. His was unsuccessful. I was at the Cicero Hotel that morning with Julian Giraud. They used his pickup, his Ford F-150 pickup. I was there listening to all the planning as a little boy, trying to catch little understandings of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Mr. Piper who was shot in his back? He had a back shaped like a cobra going to the prisons, I believe. Something like that. But we have to fill in all the gaps.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Peter. It's important that we write the history of the late 70s and the early 80s, because some young people don't know about all these things, you know?
Well, you understand why Eugenia did that. I mean, she said that Patrick wanted to make Portsmouth a free port, the Sunday Island project, the Valhalla project. That was a lie. 1960, my daddy was the number one right-hand man of Mr. Edward Oliver Liebler. Took Frank Barron out of power in 1960, and the Labour government won 1960, 1965, 1970, 1975. I put up PA systems non-stop in 1970 and 1975. And when she realized 1975, Patrick won again, hands down, the Labour government was taking every seat non-stop. I mean, of course, history is repeating itself today. Eugenia realized, but the only way to take Mr. out there is in a coup. And we have to use the civil service. We have to use Louis Benoit, all the trade unions. We have to use the Waterfront Workers Union. When Louis Benoit sat in the speaker's chair in Parliament live, I was right there in Parliament that day, and he took the mace and put the wig on his head in Parliament. I mean, come on, who wants to repeat that today? For them, they stormed Parliament that day. I can't forget those days.
Peter, I suspect the historian might have to talk to you. You know a lot of stories, Peter. I'm guessing that some other people might have different perspectives, huh?
Eugenia Charles in 1972 brought her civil service, her crowd, her mob, and Mr. Chambers was the head of the defense force. They came marching in. Fellas put so much blows on Chambers, the head of the defense force. They came marching in Parliament, the same location that day, and then the following night. Was it the following night? I saw Mr. Ferdinand Frampton being kicked down the hill towards Suki, rolling him like a football, blowing him and beating him. They brought him straight out of DBS radio station. Registry and Parliament went up in flames that night. It was a fireball. No one knows today how the registry disappeared in flames. Matt, if I have to continue,
I suspect we'll have to write a
be a
book.
lecturer at the college.
We'll have to write a book, Peter, on that one. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so that's the point I'm trying to make. You know, there are a lot of people who don't understand the history of the 70s and the early 80s. Young people, you need to get an education on that one. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Yes.
Matt Peter say his father, no, he didn't have to his father. Matt, if I looking at Karam going up ministry step, Matt Karam jacket, he had his black jacket suit on him and the front kind of open. And they jerk him. He got car up. So Peter don't say nothing didn't happen to him. He got his car up and he got his cool jacket. I was right there, Peter. You wasn't there. Bye-bye.
You see what I mean, Peter? Different people have different perspectives. That's why we need to get the facts about the incidents that took place in the 70s and the early 80s as well. You know, it's a story to be told. And somebody's asked me to tell or to ask Al Benoit, you know, to come validate his father's patriotism in the 70s. So Al, call and talk about that, okay? Oh boy. I'm just trying to make the point that I think, yes, history has to be written. You know, it is also reported under a barrage of stones and what sounded to be gunshots, Peter placed a white sheet on a broomstick, asking the crowd to surrender. Peter, is that version correct? Did you have a white sheet on that day? So, Peter, thank you for the education. Again, people have different versions. We should engage not only in Mr. Lennox on the church, but there are other persons who have. I think somebody called yesterday. He said he was one of the truck drivers who transported the people to the morgue. So you see, there are many people out there still with the education or the information. Matt, I agree with Z 100%. Everything these days is power rep. I want people, I mean real people. That's why I'm telling you about upcoming reunion in the South. There's nothing like power rep. It's we the people that are doing our thing, huh? And that's a WhatsApp message. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll change the conversation. Stick around.
Now available at Eaststar Trading Limited Showroom Department, a wide range of household items and accessories. Plates in porcelain, ceramic, clear and cordial. Bowls in glassware, plastic and porcelain. Pot sets and frying pan sets. Glasses for all occasions. Knife sets and cutlery. Water jugs and storage containers. Wooden spoon sets. Dish strainers. Chopping boards. Bath towels, shower curtains, and bed sheet sets, curtain rods, living room sets, recliners, and dining room sets, mats and rugs, and so much more. All at unbeatable prices. Visit us today. We are located at the corner of Kennedy Avenue and Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, Roseau. ESA Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
I see Golo in shopping for farming supplies, so I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? Do you have a farm? He tells me, Gus, out hell sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
As somebody said, you try to get Mr. Charles Savrin to come to confess his sins against Patrick John sometime. I'd really sometime to have engaged, Mr. Charles Savrin on Dominica's history to get his version, huh? Amazing, somebody says. I just want his support today. All right, Dominica, I said we would talk about what we heard about in Parliament. I mean, for years, Dominicans and members of the opposition have been asking, what about the titles for persons being given apartment? Just this week, was it this week or last week? We heard the Power Rep for Rosal saying that it's soon to come. So I want to ask again to the Prime Minister on behalf of the people of Dominica, what is really the truth, huh?
Our existing homeowners across Dominica. Cabinet recently approved the hiring of a full-time state attorney, and she will be stationed in the Ministry of Housing. Basically, she has one job to do. Her sole purpose is to process all the land titles for our government-built homes. This is huge, Mr. Speaker. This is a big deal because for years, the issue of titles of government-built homes have been a hot topic in Dominica. But the reality is, after every devastation, our priority is clear. It's just to get people in homes as quickly as possible and put them under a safe roof, Mr. Speaker. So we were not going to let a piece of paper delay someone's chance of having a roof over their head. And because of that approach, we've been able to house thousands of people in a safe home. But now I'm proud to say that we have found a solution to move the title process forward faster and more efficiently. We are unlocking real value for our people, Mr. Speaker.
For transparency purposes, Miss Melissa Skerritt Popon, Miss Popon Skerritt, can you identify the name of the attorney responsible? And how soon will these titles? The people have been waiting for a number of years. So how soon will these titles be available? Because we must have heard, or you must have heard differently a few years back.
So look at proof. Now they can tell you about Sterry City House, the government house. Every one of these houses that we are building under the CBA program belong to the state, 100%. So it's a state asset. The house, that house is your house. And I tell you, Sterry saying, well, the house that we give you, Ben Bishop, is government house. Let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. You see, all of you who got a letter from the government, and a key from the government, that house is yours forever. So on Bellevue Super, we had a proposal, how much it's going to cost for this component, that component, and then there's an allocation of citizenship to share to be able to finance the construction of this.
Yes.
And so where the housing is concerned, as opposed to the real estate, the housing, every one of these houses that we are building under the CBA program belong to the state, 100%. So it's a state asset.
The question is, what is really the truth here? Are these houses being traded for votes with election around the corner? It's just a question. It's just a question. Huh? So you are dangling the carrot there. If you don't or refuse to vote for me, then what happens? Somebody's pointing out to me, it's coming from a Liberate friend in one of the houses, who said they told the PM that they need to see the paper before election. Is that a fact? I can't confirm, but there's one Liberate is saying there, I have said to the authorities, meaning the Labour Party, that if I don't get the piece of paper, I should refer to it, they won't get my vote. So are these houses being dangled like a carrot months before the elections? I'm just asking a question. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, good afternoon. Yeah. Yeah, yes, I'm here.
If you think well, if you remember, try and remember well, because I spoke about it after, that this thing was going on, there was a time they said about they were going to give the people their papers for their houses. Quite some time. And soon after that, they call election. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be the second election they say in those things there. Watch and see if they will get it, because it's not the first time it's happening. I can remember that very well. So it's not first time, and the clappers are clapping. Thank you.
All right, thank you to 449-3095, Matt. One Liberate told me it's a paper house, and they can't even paint the house. 449-309596. I've been hearing that they in the Carib territory, some group there, some government group or the council may have received $80,000, to share. So something's around the corner. Something happening. I don't know. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Hi. Good afternoon, Mark. That's Arundel Thomas.
Hi, Arundel. Talk. How you doing?
As you know, yes. For avoidance of doubt, I don't know if you. First of all, I did write a poem on the one prosperity matter. They invited me when you were erecting the memorial.
Okay.
They invited me. I went there and I said the poem, and I also played a song on my harmonica several years ago.
Okay.
So that's a deeply sad and tragic occasion. Now, Matt, I don't know if you recall. First of all, this lady is a showgirl. Whoever spoke that said it was a piece of paper. A certificate of title is not just a piece of paper. I mean, to say it like that suggests that she's really out of her depth and very ignorant about the legalities, the legal consequence and validity of a certificate of title. To say, they know to keep it back because of a little piece of paper. For a person in parliament to speak like that suggests they're making a big show and a big vary about something that's very important. A certificate of title is a legal document that gives you ownership and title and authority, so to speak, to the property. You know what I mean? So it's not just an ordinary piece of paper. And when the Pal Rep for Roseau makes that statement, it's just a game and a show. And I don't know if you recall, there was a time when it was set, when a question was raised in Parliament you were told that the Attorney General's office was working on getting these people their certificate of title. I don't even remember
That is true. That is true. Yes.
Exactly. And then that went to nowhere as usual. And Pastor Randy Rodney, in his last program, if you listen carefully, he said that the United Workers' Party had in fact put in place legislation for giving strata certificates of title to persons who are living in apartments. And look at the Riverside apartments. There are people there have been living, like the Low Blacks and others have been living there for years, and I'm sure they have the certificates of title. And before they went into this property, or soon thereafter, they were given certificates to their property. So when after how many years, the Parliament for Rosa come and say, oh, it's just a little bit of paper, and we so wanted to put people, desperate to put people in housing, that we didn't think a little bit of paper was of any consequence. I am sure Roosevelt has certificate of title for his property, or properties wherever he has them legitimately or otherwise. You know, I'm sure she and her parents, they have certificate of title for the property, so they can do what they want with it. And to come out there and say, oh, it's a trivial matter, it's just a little piece of paper, it's another big political event, another big show event. And she talked like a show woman, just like if I already have in the house, put them Vary because that's their place. Their God is in power and authority, and they treat citizens like trash with disregard and disrespect. And they're up to another political game. Roosevelt's carrot is up to another political game. And I hope the people recognize that, see through all this. First of all, I think he has no legitimacy because he did come out and say, and I want to remind the world that Roosevelt's carrot said that he had his constitutional mandate to leave office at the end of April. And for a man to go back on his word, that my word is my bond, his word should be his bond. So he has absolutely no legitimacy to be prime minister because he himself said in his own words, nobody forced him, nobody had him at a gunpoint, that he had a constitutional mandate to leave by the end of April. So he should be out of there. He has no legitimacy. God bless him, Mark. That's Arundel.
God bless. Arundel, somebody wants your number, so please just text me and then I'll forward that number. Okay, somebody in the States. Okay, thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. Please don't be fooled. That's just another ploy. Somebody says election ploy. That is never going to happen. I know that election is around the corner. That housing scheme is nothing but a scheme done with corrupt intent. It's done with the sole purpose of securing votes. 449-3095. That's what I'm asking, whether it's a dangled carrot for a vote. 449-3095-96. Now, according to the information I just received, one laborer is saying, man, I told them if I don't get that piece of paper, no vote. So let's see what happens. Somebody's saying, Matt, but we're not hearing these people making noise for their titles. All they're concerned about is what hired bosses they're going to take on June 1st before they take the key from them. I don't think Mugabe and the Kuchi Grace should give them any titles. Their votes in the bag already, while Skyrit have his titles. That's another opinion. More telephone calls in the abstinence already. 226. Somebody says, man, don't worry. No Liberites not bold enough to say this. They are afraid of their master. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes? Uh-huh.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Those apartments they gave the people that died, the people like Sogo Fry and two others, they took the apartments from whoever were close to them that were looking about them. They think, why they didn't give it to them? Why they didn't leave it with the close family or whoever was looking about them? Now they're talking about giving certificate of title. Your man, see, they lying. You can last lie, Bamon. Your last month, see, election coming, so they're trying to lock up people's eyes and people's ears. Your last month, Bamon.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Let's see this voice. I'm going to hear this voice note there, huh?
Mato, you maybe have the recording of Monster B brother, Mato, when he came out from the hospital, Mato, and all his things were on the porch, Matt. Play it, Matt. Remember, Monster B body was not yet even cold. They was not even sure if Monster B was dead, Mato, and they were already changed the lock. Okay, Mato? So none of the houses belong to anyone, Mato. This is just an albatross around the citizenry of Dominica who got the houses, that they're there to vote for them permanently, Mato. And the people need to rise up and tell them, no way, Jose. They get their titles for the house, or they can go to hell. Because, Mato, they've been using that gimmick for the past 5 election cycle, Matu, and it shouldn't happen again. They know that the houses doesn't belong to them. It will never belong to them, Matu. That is a political gimmick, okay? And there are several other examples, Matu. Who is in Soko Fly Flat, Matu? They took it and give it to somebody else, Matu. And so many other people. So they're lying, as usual. We know that.
You see, that's what I've been saying from day one. If the house is a state asset, it means that any successive government that comes can decide, this is state asset, you have to give it up. And they can take it and give it to somebody else. Wouldn't it have been better if the CBI money was channeled through creating factories and processing plants, process our bay oil, our fruits, our provision, and create employment in different fields of that operation for people. So these people would have their salaries, they would take their loan and build their own house, which would be their personal house and not state house, not state property, but their personal property. So you see how the money was wasted? It was wasted. And do not tell me that if I can think of that, those with degrees cannot think of that too. Of course they know that. And they know it very well. Now, the other twist to that is, if these houses are state asset, and any successive government tries to withdraw that house from someone, don't we see that we are asking for trouble, for problems? Who in their right thinking mind would agree, after having resided in a house for 10, 15 years, for another government to come and say, this is state asset, so we're taking it away from you? This is an act of, let me tell you, I can't even find a word, but there will be war in the country. So that's another twist to that story. Is this what any government wants to happen in their country? I don't know. Boy, people are being played. I don't know. And that is not unique to Dominica. All over the world it happens. Politicians, world leaders, they must stop playing with the emotions and the rights of the people. No, the people who gave them a job. The people are the ones who elected them. So, well, I don't understand the heart of mankind. The heart of mankind can be so cruel, and especially men and women who have what we call degrees, who proclaim to be more intelligent than the local people out there. Oh my God.
Matt, the lady's right, I know of people in Portsmouth who died before they were buried. They gave the other people the house. Cornelius, aka Diabol, who was a Porto Labor Party, lived in one of the Chinese-built apartments in Bath Estate. Cornelius died, and days after, his family was asked to remove his belongings and clear the apartment, which was given to a woman instead of Cornelius' adopted son.
Greetings, Dominica. What I don't understand there, when the people are ill-informed or not informed or not educated on certain things, others can really manipulate them. Because first of all, when they go in the voters' booth to vote, no one knows who you're voting for. So you could tell these people, yes, I'm going to vote for you, take the money, and then you go in the booth and do your cross for whoever else you want to, because your life going to continue to stay the same condition. Don't let them fool you and to believe that they're going to know who you vote for. They're not going to know. They are not going to know, people of Dominica. So you take that money they give it to you, it's tax money, c'est pas l'argent yo. C'est l'argent taxe, l'argent dominicain, pour l'argent. Western Canada, yo, we mo ka vote pas so. When the time come, you vote for your future of your children. You don't want to see your children in this condition they're in right now. Wake up, people. Come on. God help only those who help themselves, you know. Si sont pas un des causes, bon Dieu pas qu'il y ait des hein. Bon, quand ils sont ça, si sont pas un des causes, bon Dieu pas qu'il y ait des whichever one.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. What you say?
Charles Savary will not come on your show, man. Charles Savary is the one who had us close met in Hall when we were fire officers. Charles Savary, Maxim, and Sims and Maxim, they're all under house arrest by that same Labour Party. The man has no shame. He became president on the same people who had him under house arrest. And I was in Dominica in those days as a fire officer. When he could not leave his house after 6 o'clock, I had to go and buy his food for him. Yet, he became president. So, he's not going to come on your show. These guys have no shame at all. No shame. And my good friend who calls you Al should leave the Bronx and come to Dominica if things are so great in Dominica. These people have no shame, my friend. No shame. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Have a wonderful afternoon, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody said the people should tell him the last vote was for the house. Next vote should be for the title. This house ownership mess is nonsense. A right-thinking government can provide a better deal concerning ownership. How about having these people to their feet with good wages that will allow them to own their own apartments? The most talked about, of course, afternoon show.
Chatting her rubbish.
What's
First
that?
of all,
let's go back.
Look at Melissa in Parliament giving her debate. Matthew would have sworn that Melissa was just talking to her little friends on the road. And I assure them, I quiver when I see the state of parliament. What is passing for parliamentarians first, and for the building, even for the state of the affairs in the building. Man, we need to get in time. You do not know who is who in parliament. Everybody just sitting together. You do not know where is opposition side, where is not opposition side. And that looks like a kindergarten class. I keep saying so every day. That looks like a kindergarten class. But Matt, to the gist of the matter, I don't believe that any government has the authority to just give away state property like that. It must have parliamentary approval. Cabinet cannot just sit down and make a decision to give anybody anything like that. Because you do that, tomorrow, next government take over, they're going to override that, they're going to undo it and give it to somebody else. However, when the matter has gone through parliament, then it becomes legitimate, it becomes lawful, it cannot be overturned just like that. We must go back to parliament to do it. And nobody would want to be seen just going parliament and undoing what one government did. If it is done the right way, you go to parliament, you get the approval of the entire parliament that those buildings be given to the people, select people under whatever criterion they use. Okay? So that has to be the way forward. Not just putting somebody sit down in an office in housing and just signing title deed. No, not for government property. You don't just sign government property so. You don't sign it away like that. Okay? And as it relates to the lawyer who is going to be sitting in the office, Matt, that person is a disgrace to the legal profession. To tell me that you've gone to university, you've gone to study for how many years, and you come in and sit down in an 8-to-4 job to sign documents for government, rubbish. You wasted your years in education. You're a disgrace to the legal profession. So those who sit down in an office doing 8-to-4 government job, those are insults. Their brains should be given to somebody else, right? They've wasted their parents' money, and the state, if the state was responsible for funding them, they've wasted that money. To tell me you have a lawyer. Lawyer should be out there creating employment, not going and sitting an 8-to-4 job in an office and doing government biddings. Rubbish, okay? And that goes to the one at Social Security too.
When you want the what you do? Shop at SDN. Better than the rest. Shop at SDN. And they all gone well. Shop at SDN. You get more for life. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Yeah. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. What is that? Shop at SDN. Yes, family, customer friendly, with free locations, it's so convenient, and our price is Madam, that's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SDN. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SDN. Auntie, nene, and cousin, friend, open power, all of them. My grandpa, couple, neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Oh, yeah. Shop at SDN. Shop at SDN. Check us out at Pottersville, High Street, and downtown Rose.
All right, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. Of course, this is the Talk on the Block. More telephone calls coming in. Hello, yes.
Yes, Matt, good afternoon to you and your listeners, Matt. Matt, I do not know which government that will come in and tell people who are already in the houses that they have to leave the house, Matt. I really cannot fathom that at all, Matt. You know what I mean? Why? How can they do that? I think that would be a very bad advertisement for that particular regime, whoever they are. You know what I mean, man? And the people who they're talking about, they tell people that they will know who they're voting for. They cannot know who you vote for, Matt. I sat in the voting office at Smoky, and I said for my last time, when they share the ballot they give you, it does not have the number that the Council of Oil has. So nobody knows who votes for who at all. Never. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. 449. Now, so Mel is now, that's a message. So Mel is now the minister of a little piece of paper, a title which gives ownership of this land through a certificate of title is now a little piece of paper. That's what she said. It wasn't my words, it's her words as it relates to a little piece of paper. But let's see if we can go back to that insert there from, of course, Melissa Skerritt. Listen again.
Our existing homeowners across Dominica. Cabinet recently approved the hiring of a full-time state attorney, and she will be stationed in the Ministry of Housing. Mr. Speaker, she has one job to do. Her sole purpose is to process all the land titles for our government-built homes. This is huge, Mr. Speaker. This is a big deal because for years, the issue of titles of government-built homes have been a hot topic in Dominica. But the reality is, after every devastation, our priority is clear. It's just to get people in homes as quickly as possible and put them under a safe roof, Mr. Speaker. So we're not going to let a piece of paper delay someone's chance of having a roof over their head. And because of that approach, we've been able to house thousands of people in a safe home. But now I'm proud to say that we have found a solution to move the title process forward faster and more efficiently. We are unlocking real value for our people, Mr. Speaker.
All right, 449-3095, 449-3096. The telephones, Ian did the calls this afternoon there. Are you there, caller? Yes? Mm-hmm.
Mr. Master Staircase, like I said, how are you?
Mola, man. Sagafet.
Yeah, Isaac Baptiste here. Matt, how many times have you brought up this thing on your show about the government of the Roosevelt Carrick Labour Party administration is going to give persons title to the homes that they now occupy?
A few times.
Numerous times.
A few times, yes, you're right.
And every time the Prime Minister comes on the radio, he lets you know and let Dominicans know the buildings or houses built by his administration are government-owned houses, and that's what they will be, government-owned houses. 3 persons have been ministers of housing since this program started. Reginald Austrie, senior minister, and I think he was named vice prime or deputy prime minister. Roosevelt Carrick from 2017 to up to 2022 as prime minister. And now Melissa Pope was Carrick. All former and present minister of housing. The housing program of this administration has been in effect maybe since 2003 or 5 or thereabout, maybe somewhere around there, almost 20 years. They built houses, they started building the first set of houses at Bafa State and at Emsor. Gis Zodi, up to today, none of those persons occupying these buildings have title to their home. And you must listen to the Minister of Housing very, very carefully. She says, as far as is concerned, we were very busy allocating houses, and we gave that priority over a piece of paper. She knows what a title is. I'm sure she owns property and her family owns property. And the importance of a silver title, I will not go over that because most Dominicans know that. What she said, the lawyer will be doing land titles for government-owned homes. What I interpret that to mean, there are areas where government acquired, compulsory maybe, or purchased land to build houses, and they do not yet have titles in the name of government for this house, for this land. So this is what the lawyer will be doing. She did not say that the government is now going to issue titles, strata titles, to the homes that are occupied by persons who have been allocated this house. That's 2 different things. I am going to employ somebody to get the titles to the lands that the buildings of government are on, versus I'm going to give title to the persons who are located houses and now living in those houses. Why would a government treat people that way? A home is so important to people. You have a house, you have title to a property. This is what allows you to access financing from a financial institution. This is what allows you to build and accumulate wealth. You heard Glenroy Suso Coffee said yesterday, what was given to them was just a 2-bedroom house, and many Dominicans under the Patrick John administration, under the Freedom Party administration, under the administration of United Workers Party led by Edison James, build houses over Dominica, Bafa State, Layu, all over the place. Within weeks or months that these people were located in the house, they were given certificates of title. If you go to these houses, particularly the single family houses flat houses, bungalows. You cannot recognize them anymore because as their salary increase, as they're able to make money, they expand it on their home. They create their castle, which is now something else worth about $50,000, $60,000 a couple of years ago. It's now $200,000, $300,000.
That's true.
And you have a government playing with the lives of the people like that. That every time you feel that you want to reassure the people, hey, I want your vote, that you are doing that to people. You're heartless. You can't be doing that to people. If you are serious about allocating and giving titles to the people, and at one time they said there was the reason why it was so, there was no strata legislation. But we saw, many people have said that. Apartments on the riverside. Marriage in the Charles administration built back apartments, Cork Street opposite my friend and your friend, Peter Karam, Bath Estate. The people own these houses. They can sell it. Some have sold. And you are there 20, 15, 18 years. You are still promising people like you. And because there's no legislation, Dominica has the highest per capita lawyer to population maybe in the world. And now you say, I'm going to employ a lawyer to do this. I mean, God will punish all you, for you to be doing that to people. And yet you have not said what is the criteria. There are some people who might be living in these houses, probably it's not reasonable that they should have those houses because there are people who are more deserving. What's the criteria? What will be the arrangements for the maintenance of those houses, even though it is owned? This is what you should be telling the public. This is what you are working on. This is what you prepared. And within these specific dates and times, what you're promising, because they say election is coming. There's so much I could say about this issue. But most importantly, Matt, the question about a snap election relative to this housing allocation. Madam President, you are the president of Dominica. My layman understanding of the Constitution is this. The Prime Minister can advise you about calling of an election or issuing a writ. You are under no obligation under law, under the same Constitution from my layman understanding. I'm going to read it, Matt. Where by this Constitution, the President is required to perform any function after consultation with any person or authority. He or she shall not be obliged, I put in she there, he or she shall not be obliged to exercise that function in accordance with the advice of that person or authority. And it goes on to say, that's section 18.3.213, where the Constitution provides for the President is required to perform any function in accordance with the advice of or after consultation with any person or authority. The question whether the President has exercised that function shall not be inquired into any court of law. My layman understanding is that if the Prime Minister advises the President to issue a writ for an election, the President has no obligation to do so. And if she refuses, she has nobody to explain to why he did not do it. And no court can go into that. I raised this issue, Matt, relative to the question about electoral reform.
Mm-hmm.
We passed legislation just a couple of weeks ago for electoral reform, which provides for certain things to be done and for the public to be informed as to when the confirmation process starts. To date, the Electoral Commission has not informed the public. The legislation provides for up to 15 months for the confirmation process, after which names can be removed. Before that, you cannot remove anybody's name unless somebody asks you to remove their name on that list there. So if an election is called now, this whole list, that's what is operative. It will also mean the commission, the Electoral Commission has not have time to do their work as provided under the new law and to reasonably have time to implement the law. Madam President, I saw you at Castle Bruce before you became president, lifting lost tea over the altar, praising God and asking God, Jesus Christ, to come down and be in that wine and bread. Please let your conscience control you and not politics, not association. If you're advised to call an election or to issue a writ for an election, tell the Prime Minister the period no. You don't have to explain to him. Don't allow your conscience to go away astray. It would be immoral. It would be provocative. And it would be, I won't say illegal, but also bad faith on the Prime Minister or yourself to allow an election to take place before giving the Electoral Commission reasonable time. Reasonable time would have to be at least 6-8 months after they inform the public that the confirmation process has started for you to issue a writ or agree to a writ for an election to be called. On JKP knew. And I don't think after you have gone on that also so many times given math that you will allow that to happen to you. Do not allow that to happen to you. Because what you have in this world, which is nothing, is after death it calls for. Mr. Prime Minister, the same apply to you. So you, the people who occupy those houses, do not bother with that. Let them do what they want. It's not right. It's immoral. You cannot do that. You cannot be doing that to people who depends on these things, and then you're using it against them for a vote because you want to remain in office. This is why Dominica is in that state. Because the majority of these people are selfish, and they're doing that, and the curse of God is falling on our country because those in power are doing that wickedness to their own people. Good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon to you. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. All right. We're going to continue. We're going to continue in the afternoon.
We all lose when they feed our souls. Keep on moving, though the water stay.
Utter rubbish, somebody says, coming from the PM's wife. It's just another political ploy, rhetoric and more rhetoric, lies and more lies. The indignity of these people is staggering. I'm just shaking my head. When the message from the government is distorted, there is no truth in it. At the afternoon time is 2:55. 2:55.
Yes, Matt, good afternoon, and good afternoon to all Dominicans. Matt, it's very interesting hearing Melissa, Oh, all of a sudden, a new position is created within the Ministry of Housing to process those titles. Like how many titles like that they have to process, so no, Matt, that they can't use the normal office that they're some of using to procure those titles, government titles. And where's that money is coming from anyway for them to pay that new lawyer that and her husband have
I think, Master, your phone is giving some problems this afternoon, okay? You might want to re-record that message and send it back. Clean it up because we're having some problems with that, okay? Natasha Wilson, I think, said, one day, I tell you, one day. Somebody says, so Mel is now the Minister of Titles, Minister of a little piece of paper. A title which gives ownership of this land through a certificate of title is a little piece of paper now. Somebody says, man, Patrick John gave the opportunity in Bath Estate. In Point Michelle, too, people took loans and bought their houses. Edison James in Stock Farm in Louisville Mamo in Cork Street. This nonsense must stop and the DLP must go. It's a WhatsApp message.
You must always remember the people. Treat you gentle. You don't treat them unkind. One day, I tell you one day, you're going to go.
I suspect our telephones have been giving some problems there. Cracking up when you send the voice notes. I don't know why.
You took me for granted, now we are parting. Like the young people say, you will pay for it one day. You're hunting on like a fish out of water. Roasting the beef ain't a dime. The dollar will put a Yankee porter. Because they never learn to be tricky at no time. Hey, hey, hey. There was time when money was no problem. You had reason to leave letting go. You listen to your broken and then spend. Easy come, easy go for one day. I tell you one day, you're going to go. One day, I tell you one day, you're going to fall. One day, you know what's up, you're
Hello, yes? Mhm.
Yes, Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Matt, you see, Austria won us, you know. Austria told us that everything in Dominica is back to front. You remember when Austria said that, Matt? Laughing everything? So you see, that is what Austria means. Because a government going to build houses for people, the first thing you have to do is to go in parliament. And when you go in parliament, parliament is the one that's supposed to make decision how you're going to make the houses for the people, under what condition you're going to make the houses, who qualified to get the houses, how are you going to give the people the title, because it is government property, so parliament is the one that have to make that decision. You never do it. You go Pikeville, make apartment, give it to your friends, give it to your family members, people that dress in jacket and tie, have good jobs, get apartment. Those who cannot afford don't have no apartment because they're not supporting you. People that already you're talking about, I'm supporting you, I'm talking good about you, get an apartment and they can afford the apartment. They have SUV parked in front of it. A big SUV, they can afford to buy SUV, but they cannot afford to pay for the apartment. You give it to them free of charge. Now you come in talking about a piece of paper to give people title for apartment because the opposition is saying that you give people apartment without title. Not this government is a back to front government and they need to go, they need to come up from there so that somebody else can come and do a better job to develop the life of the people of Dominica. Madam, good afternoon.
You don't treat them one day. I tell you one day, you're going to go. One day, I tell you one day, you're going to go. One day you're going to cry. Nothing but my cry. You took me for granted, now we are parting. Like the young people say, you will pay for it one day.
You're hunting on like a fish out of water. Rooting to the pain of a dime. It's all on over quarter, Yankee quarter. Because they never going to be tricky at no time. Eh, eh. There was a time when money was no problem. You had reason to neglect me. You listen to your broken from them. Spend, easy come, easy go. One day, until you one day, you're going to go. One day, until you one day, you're going to go. One day, it's lost. To know what of yours you will remember, I tried to warn you, but like your people say, you're going for it one day. I give you my undivided attention. Anytime you call, I never say no.
Someone says, man, it's such a shame listening to this Roseau Parle Representative Melissa Skerritt. A level of representation is so mediocre and shallow. Roseau residents deserves better. You must be removed, huh? That's a WhatsApp message.
I would have said I'm straight, maybe that ain't true. No, like you do. But now they laugh, they're not me for one day. I'll tell you one day, you're going to go. One day, I'll tell you one day, you're going to go. The evil that you do comes back to haunt you. Like the old people say, you have to pay for it.
This afternoon, so we're going to wrap it up, huh? Hoping to be back on your radio tomorrow, same time. In the meantime, until about 3:30, I'm going to stay with you and play some music, huh? Give you a break.
I hope you see the rat there on the road. You better than to practice what you're preaching. If you want to be held in high, honesty and truth, listen teaching, but more interesting. And forget your evil things. So one day, I'll tell you one day, oh yeah, one day, you're going to more. One day, I'll tell you one day, you're going to more. One day, I'm going to.
It's already 3:06 in the afternoon. Taking something from Short Shirt. Let's go, Short Shirt.
And vegan, wake up. Open up your eyes. Your country needs you. Hope you realize our government is abusing its power and authority, and if it's having adverse effects on the whole country, it is time for us to take a stand. After all, this is our native land. That is why I came back to stay, to expose the wicked things that are perpetrating. It is only time for the self-destruct. Freedom, power, it's the CNT. The purpose is for and what's for the boss. They don't really care about this country. All these scheming, conniving plans have caught up with them. They are facing insurmountable problems, and just as sure as the sun will rise, this government must fall. The handwriting is on the wall. Our Prime Minister, like a dictator. If with him you don't agree, you can't progress in your country. Our government has no respect for the business community. No dialogue, no dialogue in this meeting. Taxing the poor ones who have no money, while they're living luxury as a family and the Prime Minister. And then your boy, think down on figure. It is only time for the self-destruct. Freedom, power, it's the TNT. The purpose in government was for the boss. They don't really care about this country. All these scheming, conniving plans have caught up with them. They are facing insurmountable problems, and just as sure as the sun will rise, this government must fall. The handwriting is on the wall. When will we learn to live together? When will we learn to love each other? When will we learn to trust our brother? When will we live one for another? Lord, I serve for a child. Need a love, true happiness, a peace divine. Sometimes I feel like I want to scream and scream and scream and scream. Sometimes Lord, I feel I would scream. When will mankind turn from their evil? When will the children friend rise and shine. When will crime, violence, and corruption? When will they leave the hearts of mankind? Lord, I search, but I can't find neither purity, grace, or truth in mankind. Sometimes I feel like I want to scream and scream and scream and scream. Sometimes, Lord, I feel I could scream. When will our dreams become utopia? When will our sorrow cease? When will the poor no longer hunger? When will mankind be truly free? Lord, I search and I search, but I can't find the land of milk and honey and rivers full of wine. Sometimes I feel like I want to scream and scream and scream and scream. Sometimes, Lord, I feel I could scream. Hey girl, you look so lovely, and I'm madly in love with you. If they don't mind, I'm on the streets there. I don't know what you want to do. No, don't feel that I'm shepherding. Not because I love dirty, but let me explain you this that I'm not ready. I hustle life, but if you really want to make it with me, please don't tell me that you're not. I'm sorry because love don't love everybody. Everyone keeps touching each other's throats.
Q 95, 95. Q 95, 95.
She wrote, 'cause you can't tell how I feel when I'm hungry. You do not feel the pressure that I feel when I'm broke. Make so bad friends, they just watching and laughing. They won't stretch a helping hand, I swear they have strength. That's why I don't love. She's not love, nobody loves nobody. Ding, 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 do, do, ding. I said, baby, you must believe me, because what I'm saying is true. If they mister, just pass the money, and then do what you want to do. Boy, I was living so happy. Yes, I once had a family, but my friends then put me on a scene. Introduced me to this thing called cocaine. Now I find myself in the fatality, searching for only to find there's nobody because I don't love anybody. Everyone keeps cutting each other's throats. In this concrete jungle we live in, the episode it's not that she wrote. But you can't tell how I feel when I'm lonely. Many times I just have to get up and go and roll. No one can tell how you feel when you lose a family, especially when you're no longer home. That's why I don't love. She's in love. Nobody loves nobody. Day. If I tell you this story, when you hear it, your ears will stop. But my husband, he was very wealthy. Yes, we was living a let's live life. But he didn't know a thing about the drugs I was using. And when he found out eventually, he took the children, then he divorced me. Now I live nowhere and have no money. The only alternative is to sell my body. That's why I don't love anybody. Everyone keeps cutting each other's throat. In this hungry jungle we live in, the episode is not that she wrote. No one knows if I'm step unhealthy. No one knows if I'm feeling my heart. Sometimes I just got to sit down and wonder why my so-called friends didn't help me when I first start. That's why I don't love. Make the love. Nobody loves nobody.
Q95.
Dominica Q95 Radio is opened for your business in collaboration with the National Development Foundation of Dominica. Get ready to join Q95 Radio and NDFD for Nature Island Small Business Buzz, a live radio program bringing in empowerment to small business ideas and entrepreneurs across Dominica every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m., offering a unique national platform for small, medium, and growing business enterprises in Dominica. Together, we'll aspire to connect, advertise, learn, collaborate, and witness small business entrepreneurs thrive and succeed in the fertile broadcasting soil of Q95 along with the NDFD. Join us on our journey every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. One unbroken, exciting hour of free Q95 Radio small business promotion as together we explore all the challenges, the setbacks, the setups, the comebacks, stories, the history, the startups, the breakthroughs, the financing, the sweat, the toil, the sleepless nights, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, the business plan, the overall success in pursuing your small business dream come true in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Join veteran broadcaster Franklin Peter Moses and Mr. Donald Bocasio, highly skilled, qualified, sought-after business and entrepreneurial manager, small business development expert, and strategic business coach. Together, we're taking you and your small business to the pinnacle of success in the Dominican economic landscape. So don't miss Nature Island Small Business Buzz every Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on Q95 Radio, the big station.
Q95.
It's all about you. It ain't fine sunshine most of the time. And the feeling is laid back. Heartbeat roll, rates so low, don't you know? I keep working my way back. But I'm a Jamaican boy who's born and raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York home, but it ain't mine no more. I am myself. No one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am my pride. I am said and I have lost and I can't even say why. Leaving the lonely fields. Did you read about a prod who dream of being a king? And they all became one, except for the name. You are the change. Talk about pain. Story the same one. But I've got the emptiness deep inside, and it won't let me go. And I'm a man who don't like to swear, but I hate the sound of being alone. I am myself to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am right. I am said and I am lost and I can't even say why. I am myself to no one there, and no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am right. I am when I am lost and I can't even say why. You're leaving me alone. Bricks again. Have I told you, have I shown you what I'm feeling when I hold you? It feels like heaven, heaven surrounds me. Every time you wrap your arms around me, and there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. When you're with me, when you kiss me, when you tell me how you miss me every moment with you brings us closer to home. It's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. Have I told you? Have I shown you what I'm feeling when I hold you? It feels like heaven, heaven surrounds me. Every time you wrap your arms around me, and there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. No, there's nothing I can say or ever do to deserve the love of a woman like you. Yeah. A woman like you, oh, I'm deserve it. But I'm thankful, oh, a woman like you, a woman like you, a woman like you, wrap my arms around you, don't deserve it.
All right, thank you. Oh boy. Somebody just wants to hear that song again in the afternoon. It's your birthday tomorrow, girl. Hey, my sister, Sandra, how you doing, ACS? Allison Giroux, good afternoon to you.
And the feelings laid back.
I tell my biotics, huh? Hi, in the afternoon. Allison. Not my sister, the other one. Happy birthday.
I'm a Jamaican boy, you born and raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores.
You want that played again tomorrow morning?
LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine.
Miss Joseph says hi. She says she's my sister-in-law.
I am myself.
Tell her she's not ready yet. Hey, Tower, how you doing, man? This is Q95 Thursday afternoon.
I said and I am lost and I can't even say why. Leaving alone.
Good afternoon to you, Maslin Edwards, the Tri-States, Connecticut.
Did you read about a problem, dream of being a king? And they all
Enjoying in the afternoon. Getting ready for the big party.
the name, give all the change, talk about me. Story the same one.
Cold and rainy Connecticut, huh? The mood is good.
Emptiness deep inside, and it won't let me go. And I'm a man who don't like to swear,
You mean winter is back in the middle of summer? Rainy, Connecticut, good afternoon to you.
And no one heard at all, not even the chance. I am not cried. I have said when I have lost and I can't even say why. I am myself to know there, and no one heard at all, not even the chance.
All right, let's say good afternoon to Miss Joseph there at ACS. A little Glenn Washington in the afternoon, huh, Miss Joseph? If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. I'm just giving you a little afternoon time, man. Just relax, just relax.
If loving you is wrong, I don't wanna be right. If being right means being without you, I'd rather be wrong.
There's the big expo coming up in New Jersey.
It's a shame, it's a downright disgrace. But long as I got you by my side, I don't care what your people say. Your friends tell you it's no future in
Love a married man.
If I can see you when I want, I'll see you when I can.
You spend a little time spending the ones and twos in the afternoon.
I don't wanna be right.
You know it's versatility for excellence.
With you it's wrong. I don't wanna be right. I'm my wrong before, so deeply in love with you. Knowing I got a right to little
Q95.
And I'm not wrong to hunger for the gentleness of the touch. Knowing I got someone else at home who needs me just as much. And are you wrong to give your love to a married man? And I'm not wrong for trying to hold on to the best thing I ever had.
She's no longer married. She's no longer married. Miss Joseph is free and single.
Consider me.
Well, she should consider you.
Consider me. I know you're trying to be a big girl and keep the tears from your eyes. Now, baby.
Good afternoon to Kendra Stevens at the shipping department. Oh, you little vex. Oh. I love you too.
Now, little girl, you're gonna need a man.
Marika Matthew, good afternoon to you. The shipping department at ACS.
Please consider me. Ooh. Oh, I know all your friends have left you all alone. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, and those good friends you have with him are gone. No. So you gotta have a man. A man to stand.
So please consider me, Miss Joseph. You're secret outside.
Please consider me. Ooh. Baby, you know I felt this way before. Yeah.
Baby, can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? I've got to go in a minute though.
Let her alone go. Baby, can I get a glimpse of you?
Alex in Switzerland, good afternoon to you.
Don't understand. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to the pool? Oh.
I want you and I need no one
Eh. But Alex, you come out. Bikinis too? It's winter, girl. It's winter. Still a little cold there. Be careful because before you get a pneumonia there, huh?
So clever, so baby, can we meet?
Can we meet again?
Can like you. Baby, can we meet? Cause I got what you want, and you got what I need, yeah. Baby, can we meet? So I can like your fire. Baby, can we meet? Come on. No, I love ice with darling girl. You say you for me, you're falling girl. But actions speak louder than words. Yeah, is there something you should be telling me? Is there someone out there who has the key to your heart? Talking on the phone, won't do. I need to see your body. You have me alone so long. And that
Small Business Buzz coming up with Franklin Moses and company.
so I can like your fire.
But in the meantime, in between time,
Cause I've got what you want, and you got what I need, yeah. Baby, can we meet? So I can light your fire. Baby, can we meet? Come on.
if love is so nice, tell me, why does it hurt so bad? This one for Alex in Switzerland.
It's ya. I wear the good Lord splits ya. Brand new music and it. You say you love me and you care, but you never then near. You're always on the run. Now tell me this, why we can't spend no quality time? Kick back and just unwind. You always have something to do. That simple mean that love you're not true, cause only when you want to me hear you shout I love you. Tell me where all the passion gone, all of the warmth. Tell me where is all of the tenderness. And here is something else that's been bugging me for so long. Tell me this, tell me if love's so nice. Tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's
You never ask yourself that question?
tell me why.
If love is so nice, why does it hurt so bad?
Tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again, well, why if your nails fi do a me, bills fi pay a me, ear fi do a me, and you're making fun of me, and I'm the one with the J.O.B. So baby, why won't you give me some TLC? And there is rumors going around, say when I'm out of town, there is a man where I'm supposed to be. Too late to be begging on your knees, and make my keys, and let go off me shirt sleeve. You can go to as you please, you can go talk to John, Peter, or Steve, because if love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad. But if love's so nice, tell me why I'm sad. Me sing again. If love's so nice, tell me why it hurts so bad.
Don't you worry, they're gonna talk. Don't you worry. You're still the one, huh? Rumors and more rumors.
Some things were meant to be, so I've left it. And someone to have. Long as we know what's in our heart, we know we're in a fight. Hey, no reason for concern. We're gonna see a lot of things about us.
understand. But you worry what the people say when they see me with you. Wonder what the trouble say when they find us together. Wonder what the people say when they know we're in love. Wonder what the trouble say. You pass them on the street, yes. Reading with a smile, hey, as broad as the night. They'll say all kind of legally to you, yes. That language all kind. You mind. You won't know how you understand. You think that you can never ever make your mind about it. But you know that love is deeper than you. Why should you worry what the folks say? And they see me with you. Worry what the traffic and they find us together. Wonder what the people say when they know we're in love. Wonder what the people say.
Hey, the staff at ACS, boy. I know you're locked in at this time. We're gonna bring a wrap though to this afternoon's session. Before I go, I'm gonna do this one for you, okay?
Q95.
If you're in the office listening, hey, good afternoon to you, Risa, there in the Browns. Good afternoon to you.
Just about to be smile, and I know we're just about to cry. I know we're just
What else do you want in the afternoon? A little bit of Matt and talk, a little bit of Matt and music.
and I know we're just about to scheme. I know we just want to face the truth, and then I know we just want to dream. And I know that's what it's at you. And I know that's what
I didn't know you can dance, Risa.
I know when to pull you closer. And I know when to let you.
Don't make your boss fire you and blame Matt, okay?
And I
Small business buzz coming up in a few minutes.
And I know the road. And I know the ways to fail. You know what but I don't know.
It's land down there in Belfast. Good afternoon to you. Happy to know that I'm making your afternoon, huh? I know you appreciate it.
Making love, but I'm not together.
Now somebody's saying, Matt, you should do a Lovers Rock, boy. I should do everything, huh? Can't get enough of me, boy.
Every time I see you, I raise up the sun. I'm screaming through the open air. And every star in the sky, I'm taking into your eyes like a spotlight. The feeling of my heart is a charm and it's lost, and it's looking for a ride like you. We can take the darkness from the speed of the light and turn it to a big and
Already what? 14 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Wow. I didn't know that. I've got to go. Hope you enjoy the afternoon. Stay tuned for the next scheduled program. See you around tomorrow.
If tomorrow is judgment day, and I'm standing on the front line. And the Lord asks me, what did I do with my life? I would say, I spend it with you. Never, it's okay. Never, it's alright. If I wake up in World War III, yeah, I see destruction and poverty. Oh my God. And I feel like I wanna go home. It's okay, you're coming with me. It's okay. It's your love is my love, and my love is your love. It would take an eternity to break us. It would take all the stars just to hold us. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It would take an eternity to break us. It would take all the stars just to hold us. Live up, it's okay. Live up, it's alright. Live up, it's okay. If I lose my fame and fortune, there's no way that can change me. And I'm homeless on the street, and I'm sleeping in Grand Central Station. It's okay, you're sleeping with me. Live up, it's okay. Live up, it's okay. As the years they pass us by, years pass us by, we stay on to each other's eyes. Oh my God. And no matter how far we get, it's okay. As long as I got you, baby. It's okay. It's alright. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It will take an eternity to break us. It will take all the stars that will hold us. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It will take an eternity to break us. It will take all the stars that will hold us. If I should die, it's very bad. Don't cry, cause on earth we wasn't meant to stay. And no matter what the people say, I've been waiting for you after the judgment day. Your love is my love, my love is your love. It will take eternity to break us. It will take all the stars just to hold us. Your love is my love, and my love is your love. It will take eternity to break us. Shine, shining star. Oh, shining star, and don't you go away. Oh, baby, I wanna be right here until my dying day. So many have tried to find a love like yours and mine. Girl, don't you be
long time. Honey, I'll never leave you lonely. I give my love to you only. To you only. To you only. Oh, my shining star, and don't you go away. Oh, baby, I wanna be right here where you are until my dying day. It feels so good when we lie next to each other, lost in love. Baby, when we touch, I love you so much. Make me love you more each time. I give you only to you only, to you. And don't you ever go away. I wanna be right where you are. Give me a woman now, next to each other, lost in love. And you, been searching for everything, baby. I wanna be. I got to you my life, baby. And you, so good. Your goodness and mercy shall follow me, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord. Dread, watch there. I said it, Jawawa. I said it, Jawawa. I said the time to be happy is now. I said the time to be happy is now. Not Gina, but I'm feeling weak. This is what the man got to say. So me say we gonna talk with David Tico, man. Don't got not T, got to go there. Good, and not the good. Honey, I'll never leave you lonely. Dreadlocks stop for rise, I would say. Give my love to you only. Find out the try that introduce our tips. Dread. Deep meditation, as I would say. I tell you good. I say, watch there, you know. Spit in the sky, it will fall in your eye. Spit in the sky, it will fall in your eye. And don't tell no lie. Until you don't tell no lie. The one like no fly, you will fly in the sky. The one like no fly, you will fly in the sky. I not it won't tell no lie. I not it won't tell no lie. I said the time is happy is now. I said the time is happy is now. Watch that. Yeah. Say, brothers, you know you gotta come along the way each and every day with our family. Watch that, you know. Yeah. You know, like I would tell you, like the good man said, do no wrong, and no wrong will follow. Do the right thing. You'll be uptight in the middle of the night. Watch that. I tell you, right now, baby, I feel the time. This is happiness now. I think that time is right now. I tell you about the song that make you rock it on stand. I tell you about the song you make you do your own thing. I tell you this is a song from the thing come on. It come around on disco mix to make you jump on this. And this I'm your own style. Oh, watch that. And this I'm your own style. Watch it stop. Check shit that day, till she walk along the lane. Me check shit that day, and then she walk along the lane. And just a wine, just a wine away. And she just a wine away. And she don't let the sounds come from my stone down. My house is down, stop the thing that goes around. I said, me tell you. What? Is there is a million thing? I need only the sounds come from them song. I need a people gather round and gather round one. I need those every gather round two. It's a matter of talking about the song to make you rock on the phone. Tread. I think the judge, I think the judge, I think the judge, understanding. When you're playing a head, I want you to go out, which maybe make I will say. So me say that's gonna go back. Ooh, yeah. Well, jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, and I hope you like jamming too. And the rules ain't about, we can do it anyhow. I and I will see you through. 'Cause every day we pay the price, with the love and sacrifice. Jamming till the jam is through. We're jamming. The thing that jamming was the thing of the band. We're jamming. And I hope it's jamming gonna last. No way to stop us now, we need to beg or we won't bow. Neither can be born or so. You're the right side, the children must unite. Life is worth much more than we're jamming, 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 jamming. We're jamming in the name of the Lord. We're jamming, 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 jamming. We're jamming right straight from the yard. Yeah. Holy mountain. Holy mountain. Sleep, don't you rock my boat, 'cause I don't want my boat to be rocking. Oh, sleep, don't you rock my boat. 'cause I don't want my home to be wrong. That all I get like this, rising, and you should know, you should know by now. I like it like this, I like it like this.